Hey, what's going on, guys? Bot Mentality here with another trade review for you. This will be on a trade I placed on April 12th, 2018, and ended up closing it on April 13th of 2018. It ended up being a little bit under a day. It was around 16 hours there. And I was able to wrap that up for a $500 profit, and I paid $0 in fees. So it was 100% profit. It was a really sweet trade. I really enjoyed it. And well, let's go ahead and jump into it. So this is 1 week that I've been building up here for a while. Now, remember in my past videos, I was talking about the lower highs we were seeing here and the sort of downward wedge that was being created right here in this area. And so what we saw was the price action consolidating and actually having lower highs and higher lows, and the range was just tightening and tightening and tightening. And what happens is, when this happens, you're going to see a huge exponential push of momentum either up or down. It can happen either way, but this is something I've been talking about for many videos, and this is something we were looking out for. And shout out to everyone who nailed this trade initially. Now what happened was we broke out of this triangle to the upside. We pushed up huge, absolutely huge on the RSI to a high up here. I'm on the 1 hour chart. We pushed up to a high up here of 86 on the RSI, absolutely huge. And like I said before, that was one of the highest RSI levels we had seen since a while, back in January, December. So this RSI is absolutely huge, and what that displayed was something has changed. There has been a change in the trend. It could be the short term, it could be the long term, we'll see, but something has changed. So fast forward to now. In my last video, I uploaded yesterday's chart analysis. We had seen this push and we had seen a slight pullback here. We saw this huge push up from down here at 6,800 all the way up to a little over 8,000. And so we had a huge sell-off right there. So just a retracement back towards the 50% retracement level. And the prior support we had here over the horizontal high of 7,500 right here. So I'll go ahead and draw a line there. There's 7,500, and we saw a pullback to that support. In my video that I uploaded yesterday, I actually spoke about the buy zone being between 7,500 and really 7,400. The reason why I said that is because, if it dipped below 75, I wouldn't want you to set your, your stop orders on the long under 75. My buy zone that I said in my yesterday's video was between 7,400 and 7,600. And I actually had orders laced all the way through. After I uploaded that video, I went ahead and set some orders that were laced from between. There was one order at 76, one order at 75, and one order at 74 to average down. And what ended up happening here in the price action, we're going to jump into this for you. And on the 5-minute time frame here, we did pull back. I'd uploaded my video. I set my orders, and you'll see we actually did crack the 7,600 level right here. And it was only briefly, very briefly, did we crack the 7,600. So right there. So I was buying it at 76, expecting it to hold 75. If for some reason it snapped between that, I would imagine it would have been bought back up and pushed right back up. But we didn't even get that low, guys. As soon as we broke below 7,600 and I got my long fill, we pushed right up to 7,700. So with enough size, that could have been your trade of the day. You could have sold right there, right after that fill. But I was actually looking that my target resistance was, in order to sell, my sell area. I'll show you guys here. My sell area that I targeted was actually the next resistance here, which I said was going to be around anywhere between 8,100 and 8,300 would be the next resistance level we'd see here. And how I looked at that is I pulled back here to the daily, just said, okay, what do we see here? We saw some consolidation here in this area. And then you fast forward, you just go ahead and look over there to the right side. And up there at 83, we saw some tops and some candles right here into that. And then right here at 81. So from what I imagine in this area, we would see the next resistance before the major resistance of 9,000. That's really all we had standing between us right there. So my target area to sell was anywhere between 8,100 and 8,300. So we'll jump back here over to the 15-minute so you can see. So we had the pullback. I ended up getting long right here, right into this pullback. And as you can see, from there, we never looked back. I had orders to add even lower to increase my side, which would have made this a huge trade, but we didn't get that this time. It's fine. You take what the market gives you. We had a push up, pull back, another push up here on the green, pull back, and another push up here. And one thing I want to go ahead and point out is in my prior video, I actually drew this out. If you go back and watch there on the 13th, I actually drew out this pattern. What I anticipated for Bitcoin to come down, to chop here, and then eventually curl back up to break out over these highs. And it looked just like this. If you watch my prior video, it'll be in there. Go check it out. I actually drew this out and I played that channel. I expected we were going to pull back down here into that, and I ended up selling at 8,100. So I bought in at 76. They essentially held. The price didn't look back until then and sold up at 8,100. And I'll go ahead and jump into why I sold. The reason why I sold was because if you take a look here, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'll jump in. I'll stay on the 15-minute. That'll work. If you jump into the 15-minute, what you're going to see is a huge surge of volume. That volume came in. I tweeted out on my Twitter, guys. If you aren't following me, go ahead and follow me there. I kind of give breakdowns through the trades and live updates as it's happening. But as we broke through the high right here, and this high right here was 8,050. As we broke through that, we saw a surge of volume come in on the bottom there, and then we pushed up through it. Now, one thing I want you to notice is this wick, these wicks right here. As soon as we broke through the high, we should have just, boom, shot up, but we didn't. We got sold right back down. We tried again, sold down again. And as you can see through here, really, you just see those tops of the wicks with the price action being sold down. And now we're forming a sort of upward wedge right here. But I've already sold. I'm not currently long right now. But that's why I took it off. I saw the long wicks. I saw the price start to sell off into the highs that everyone's anticipating. People taking profits, people loading in shorts, etc. So I went ahead and sold my position at 8,100 and locked in a $500 gain in under 24 hours. So very excited about that. And let's see. Yeah. And the one thing I would also consider this, a lot of people call this a weak high of day break, where when you look at this exponential price action we had here, I'll go ahead and draw that for you. This sort of price action, we'd expect at least a portion of that when we break out of that high. And so when we didn't get that and instead we saw these wicks, it essentially indicated a good time to sell. One thing I'll also point out is, let me jump back to the hourly. I think this will be, you'll be able to see this best here. We were making higher lows, a higher low here, higher low here, higher low here. And if you look at the RSI, we were actually downtrending. What they call that, that's what I spoke a little bit about it in my how I trade using the RSI video, but I didn't go too in depth. And I'm actually going to make a part 2 video to kind of explain this a little bit more. But if you'll notice, we've been downtrending, making lower highs on the RSI, on the relative strength index. We had a lower high here, a lower high here, a lower high here. Okay? While we're making higher lows on Bitcoin. Now, usually what this indicates is that there is a decrease in buying pressure, so that the momentum's slowing down and it's not justifying that high RSI level anymore. So just keep an eye out on that, guys. Keep an eye out on that. When I start seeing this, I don't see that I see the RSI isn't confirming the price. I look to go ahead and sell my position and take it off. But, you never know. We could continue just out of nowhere, just rip right back up and go to 82, 83, no problem. It can't happen, but, you can't predict the market. All you can do is just play probabilities. Just play the probabilities and what's most likely to happen. And I was very happy with my $500 gain. No problem there in under 24 hours. So I went ahead and took that off there. So now I'm all sitting cash. I'm sitting cash right now. Well, except for Litecoin. I did pick up a little bit of Litecoin in the 119.50 and that pullback right there, and I'm still holding that. So that's much smaller size. So besides that, I'm still long. Okay, I'm running cash. Now I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to pull back and maybe form a new channel. I'll upload another price analysis video here in the future of what my next idea for a trade is. So look out for that. And that's really it, guys. I hope I explained that well for you. This video went on a little bit longer than I initially anticipated, but really I just wanted to show you where I entered, where I sold, and why I sold. And if you go back and watch yesterday's video, you'll see me kind of predict this price action and actually draw it out for you guys and talk about, the areas I'd be looking at to buy, which was between 74 and 7,600, which was that channel. And if you bought in there, great job. If you're still holding, just keep an eye out on these lows right here. Keep an eye on those lows. And that's really about it. Just be careful, guys. Remember, you got to control your emotions in these situations. Don't FOMO in. Definitely don't sell too soon. Just make sure you control your emotions, have a very calculated risk to reward, and be patient, and just trade like a machine, guys. So that's all I got for you today. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bob Mentality out. Deuces.